Are you ready to let go of all the weight you've been holding on your body, in your body, all the past stories, all the past responsibilities, and finally let go and connect back to your full potential that's already been inside of you? Listen to my podcast today with Debbie Golden. Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for being my guest on the Choose Courage podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I mean, I saw a video of you answering some questions on, it was a speakers summit for women in midlife, and I was really struck by your essence. And
Oh,
then, second of all, just what you're doing. And I can't wait to find out more because you're helping women, particularly in midlife. And, that's a very large, broad time of life for women. And, it's really can be confusing. It's a huge transition, regardless if you have children, not have children, changing careers, whatever it is. So tell me a little bit about your background and what you're doing, like kind of what you started with, how it led to what you're doing now.
oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Yeah, so I have been in the same career for forever. I have three kids.
Mhm.
Um, so where I'm at now is that I just became an empty nester recently.
Oh.
Um, and so ultimately, I've always been a worker, right? I have been that woman midlife woman, just like the rest of us, that has been always performing, proving, pushing. Like I have carried the roles, been the good girl, been the strong one for so long. I was part of a marriage that I was married to a narcissist. So I am a trauma survivor and I am now a somatic healer.
Mm.
But what led me to your point, what you asked is like, how did I get here? And it's so funny because um, as the financial provider, emotional, mental, physical, did all the activities, did all the roles, like everything the good girl, strong one would do. I didn't even know I was in survival mode or
Mm.
until I was like 50, I don't know. And I was part of a marriage, so being narcissistic abuse survivor, that was part
Mm.
of it.
Mm.
And then back in I was 2 or 3 years ago, I started an online journey in addition to my regular career to kind of make money online to get out of that sort of lifestyle. And then I started doing some social media stuff. And I
Oh,
did okay with that, but it wasn't enough. And then it just, wasn't hitting my soul.
yes.
And then I went into more like women finding their purpose. And I built this community of midlife women at probably about when you saw me on
Mm.
that thing.
Mm.
And it was really good. And then, so I had all these women, and there was this like really great like community of like, okay, this is great. We're all like either going through menopause, we're going through empty nesting, we're going through career burnout, we have aging parents,
That's,
and
you're hitting them
like
all.
we're doing all of these things, huge identity thing, who am I now, what's going on, what's next. And there was this, all of a sudden it's just like it was really great to kind of have that happy hour moment, where you're eating cheese and clinking our glasses and we're all collaborating, and it's so great to know these women. But then it sort of stops because it's like the real question is, how do I get to what's next?
Mm.
How do I, why am I like in this spot where I can't find out who I truly am? Like it was this, there was more, right? There was more than all. There was more than just empty nesting. There was more than just menopause, more than all of those things we listed out. Like what's going on underneath the surface? And that's what brought me to where I am today.
Oh, this is wonderful. What a great journey and story. And, you have lived it yourself. And so you can relate to all these women going through all these different phases of their life, and you kind of hit on so many of them.
All right.
And I'm like, oh, yes, you're right. Yes, yes, yes. It's all of it. And it's so confusing, because we're going through body changes. We're going, like you said, aging parents. You're your children are off doing, if you have children off, you did your job, they're off doing what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do. And it's so confusing. And I know, like you said, we go 100 miles an hour. And women are amazing to me. That's why I've worked with a lot of women. I wrote about women, is that
Yeah.
they're multifaceted. They can do so many different things and not even think about it. So now they have this room and space like you did to to decide what's next. But like I think what you're saying, what you're working on, the tool that you're going to tell us about is that you kind of help women slow down their brain and their minds and their body because it's been going 100 miles an hour, and
Yeah.
they're ready
Yeah.
to do something, but then they don't know how to shift. So tell us about how you're helping these women stay grounded
Yeah.
and go back to who they
It's
are.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I said, I had to walk the journey,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
And it's so weird because as someone who is highly successful, and it almost feels like for me to say I'm a trauma survivor feels like I was weak or put in a weak position. Or
Mm.
there's like a lot of shame around that, even though I've sold billions of dollars of products and I've done all of these big things. But to say I'm on a healing journey
Mm.
almost made me feel weak, right? And it's not the case. It's like the most strongest, powerful thing
Yes.
that women can do.
Yes.
But um, to your point, I always ran my life that I was being chased by a bear, my hair on fire, like, all of the things. Like I brushed my teeth fast, I vacuumed fast, I drove fast, I fast, and always being chased by a bear, right?
Yeah.
And so I didn't know that was survival mode. So long story short, we all have a nervous system.
Hmm.
And when you're in chased by a bear mode, it's you're in survival mode. So you have two things, right? When you're in survival mode, it means there's a part of your brain called the amygdala. It
Hmm.
kicks in. And that's when, holy crap, I'm being chased by a bear. Brush your teeth fast, working, proving, moving through the day. Internally, you're exhausted.
Hmm.
Internally, you are so exhausted, and you just want someone else to come in and help you. But you're going to refuse the help because you're in survival mode, right? Um, when you get out of survival mode, you have pretty much a button right here in your front of your prefrontal cortex that connects you. So what's really happening in when you're connected and you're not in survival mode, you're in something called the parasympathetic mode,
Mm.
which is rest, digest,
Mm.
and connect.
I love this.
And yeah, so it takes us from pushing and pushing, like we've all done for a million years. Like you said, we do everything, we multitask. It's because we're in survival mode, and
Hmm.
it's not the best thing for us. The
Hmm.
other side is beautiful because that's where we become who we authentically are. You're coming home to yourself. You get to literally connect to yourself, most importantly, who you authentically are. You begin to receive instead of push. And the
Hmm.
most important thing, and all women have felt this, is you connect. You connect to those relationships that you haven't before with yourself, with others, with God, with the universe, um, deeper than you ever have before. So it is a complete shift
Hmm.
in midlife that is a transformation for most women who have never experienced not being in survival.
Wow. That's a wow. It sounds like it could take some courage and trust to let go of this old way of being and trusting this new way of being and connecting, even though they probably have been wanting it for so long, but just didn't know where it comes from or
Yeah.
how to get there. And I'm
Yep.
sure you experienced that yourself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it always, just like everything else, you have to want it,
Mm.
right? Like you have to, just like, anyone, like if you're an alcoholic, you have to say you're an alcoholic and you want to stop drinking. If you want to lose weight, you probably have to stop eating as much. It's just like one of those, like,
Right.
like just a normal, you have to want to become softer, and you
Yeah.
have to want to become your authentic self, and you have to want to stop being chased by the bear,
Yeah.
right? And that does take courage. But You
I'm glad.
did hit the, yeah, you did hit the nail on the head about the key with somatic healing is teaching your body that it's safe. Because you think about it, if you're being chased by a bear and all of a sudden you go somewhere and you know the bear is gone, you have to tell your body that it's safe.
Yes.
And so somatic healing, all the different, there's a lot of different modalities of somatic healing,
Mm,
but all of them are basically saying to your body, you're safe now. It's
mm,
okay. And our bodies are so brilliant and are sending us these messages all the time, and we're just not listening. So, somatic healing overall is connecting your mind and your body together, and even our spirits. Like
mm,
we are one. So, when with somatic healing, it makes us whole, it
mm,
makes us free, it makes us safe, feel safe. And
mhm.
it's in that safety of our own bodies, which has been in us the whole time, is where that beautiful transformation is.
Sounds incredible. And it sounds like a place that we all want to go to. And it is confusing to connect all those things. And it takes courage just to be and I always believe, regardless of what you believe in spiritually that, or, religiously, whatever, that we are spiritual beings in a human existence.
Mm-hmm.
This is
We
just
are.
my own belief. And, and,
Yeah.
and it's that's confusing because they seem completely different
Yeah.
at times,
Right.
right? And so
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're kind of bringing them together, which is really
Yeah.
cool. I think we all at some level are always seeking that, like, how do I bring these two together?
Yeah. And I mean, so many women, especially like, gosh, we're going through menopause and stuff. So many women feel like our bodies have let us down. And that's
Mhm.
not the case.
Yes.
We just haven't been listening to them.
Yes.
We haven't been listening to them.
Yeah.
And our bodies are still sending us messages. So my work is really getting us from our heads, like you said about women, overthinking, thought loops, like all these things that we do, getting out of there and into our body.
Yeah.
And it is really what it does. And so, even talk therapy, which absolutely has its place, somatic healing has become such a beautiful partnership to kind of complete, shall we say, the therapy, because we need to
Mm.
feel it in our body. So many women who have felt like they haven't been seen or heard or been in abusive relationships
Mm.
actually feel constriction and lumps in their throat.
That,
And so it's listening to those pain, the sensations in your body, and literally getting it through, metabolizing it through our systems. Women have tight chests, some women feel it in their womb. I mean, it's really connecting the sensations in our body
yeah.
and literally working through them. And so it's connecting us to be whole.
Ah, so beautiful. I mean, this is such a great work. I had never heard of it, which surprises me because I look at everything. I'm open to everything. And I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah,
this is a different modality that I don't even know
yeah,
about. But it all makes sense to me.
yeah.
Because you know that we carry things in our body and emotions in our body. I mean, the first time that I realized that was when someone kind of told me about it. It's years ago, and I was doing a spin class in the bicycle class.
Yeah.
And woke up, I was so excited, happy,
Yep. Yep.
got done with the class 45 minutes later, and all of a sudden I'm in my car, just all kinds of bizarre emotions were coming up. And I'm like, what is that? What that's the weirdest thing. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I probably just it came up because I released it out of my body. Or, I connected, with my body. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it was the first time I had experienced something like that. And so I know how if we just find where the restriction is or whatever this is, it sounds like such a transformative healing. I understand why it's
It
called
is.
healing. So yeah, so two questions about this. Maybe to explain a little bit of what the process is about and
Mhm.
how it's changed, how it's transformed your own life.
Oh my gosh. So the process, Do you mean like like what I teach?
Yeah, like if someone signs up to do this with you,
Yeah. Yeah, I
what's
launched
the
my
commitment and
yeah.
what do you do?
So ultimately, like I have different, I feel everyone should do what they're called to do, right?
Mhm.
Just like, any doctor, right? And when you become a doctor, what does that mean? You could be a heart doctor, you could be a foot doctor, you could be a general MD, you could be an eye doctor, an ear doctor, like, just somatic healing is the same. So you may have heard of just like that EFT tapping. I
Hmm.
don't know if
Yes, I do
that's
know that.
that's a somatic that
Oh,
modality.
okay.
Have you heard of breath work?
Yes.
Breath work is a somatic modality,
Ah,
because it's all these things that are bringing you out of your head and into your body.
okay.
So there's so many different EMDR therapy is a somatic practice.
Yeah.
So there's so many different modalities.
Mm,
So I I got my certificate and I did all the training and everything. And there are so many different things you can do. And I just picked the ones that felt close to my heart and the ones that were calling to me.
okay.
And so I use a mix of breath work, um, scanning your body basically to see where you're feeling sensation,
Mm,
and then using breath work, visualization, and movement,
mm.
like how you said you went to spin class,
Yes.
because it was that movement of your body that processed and metabolized out those emotions. So
Hmm.
how beautiful. That's what you want. And so the first step, I launched it today. It's called the Body Awakening, and
Yay.
it's that very first step out of survival mode, because there's such a beautiful win in the awareness that you have of your body. And
Hmm.
that's just step one, right? That is just like, okay, this just happened and now I have a tight chest, or this just happened and oh, now my shoulder is, oh, okay. So like you start to connect what's happening externally, how your body is telling you something's off. Like sometimes, when you see like a gruesome scene, like our bodies are seeing things we shouldn't be seeing, and you get that zing in your gut,
Yes.
it's those messages that we have to be like, oh, that's what's happening.
Mm,
So the first step is becoming aware of what's going on in your body and where you're feeling sensation and what those sensations are attached to.
mm.
So it's called the Body Awakening, and I did just launch it today.
Exciting.
And
Congratulations.
yeah,
This is really
yeah.
exciting.
So yeah, and I have some testimonials for women who've done it, and it's just so beautiful to see what comes up every time. It's you never know what you're going to get with this stuff
Oh, I'm
because
sure. Has
the
to be
trauma.
fascinating. And
Yeah,
I'm sure you're holding a very safe space for the, and is it done in person over the,
yeah. No, it's like an online, just like we're doing right now.
online?
So it's basically a
Okay.
recording of me
Okay.
where it's a video, and the Body Awakening, it's a somatic experience. It's a shift. It's actually like a beautiful your first shift in midlife, um, into your body. And it's just a video like this, and it's just kind of going to breathing and meditation, and it's beautiful.
Sounds absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
And
And
what was your second question?
oh, how it's transformed you.
Oh,
Only that. That's it.
that's so funny. I'm like, shoot, she asked something else.
Can't
Um,
miss this question. Yes. Yeah.
so I don't know if you've ever talked or heard about feminine energy versus like masculine energy. Have you ever talked about that at all?
Yes.
You have? Okay.
Not in
So,
depth, but yes.
well, it doesn't matter. It's almost like, you know, I think for me, it was finally being able to lay down everything that I've been carrying, to let myself go into my soft side and my feminine side.
Mm.
And um, I didn't know how powerful that actually was, because it's in this side of all of us women is where our power lies, because that's when we receive, we attract, we become magnetic, um, because we're not. we're not pushing.
Mm.
Like I pushed for, not kidding, 30 some years, and it's exhausting. You
Yes.
know, it's like I'm a Gen X, right? That's how we were built. That's how we were made. And
Yes.
it's just, you know, and because I was able to do this, I actually, you know, I attracted the man of my dreams.
Ah.
Um, I feel like I'm being taken care of for once
And
instead of,
able to
you know,
let him take care of you, right?
it's just, but more importantly, I am so connected to myself.
Mm.
And because I'm so connected and I'm so connected to the spiritual world. Um, and it's in that connection where there is that love that I have more capacity. So imagine, I don't know how to say this, when you look at your body, you know how women say, I'm just up to here. I'm just up to here, right? And
Yes.
what is that? We're emotionally, mentally, physically full,
Yes.
right? And so what somatic healing does is we gently release a lot of this up to here stuff. And
Hmm.
what begins to happen is we refill with the good, with the love, with the joy, with the rest, with the ease, the calm. And that's what happened in my journey. I just became, you know, so much more whole.
Hmm.
And it's a feeling you can't really explain till you get there.
Hmm.
Like, because I never felt like I could get there because I was pushing so hard all the time
Yeah.
in my job, in my with my kids, like, and just always not feeling enough or worthy or all of these things. And so, but the keynote, I guess I'd tell your audience is it's already inside of you.
Hmm.
It's not something that's out there that you have to go find. You know, you're like, everyone thinks, whatever, I have to find my purpose. Girl, it's already inside of you. It's already inside of you.
Yes, I'm with you 5,000% on that. I try to teach that with my coaching, and it's really an interesting concept for a lot of people. So, that's what a gift that you can tell people that.
Oh,
What a gift, right?
it's it is such a gift. And it's just like everything else, it's a process. You
Yes.
know, I've seen, like, in my one-on-one clients, you know, just last week there was a girl who processed a memory from when she was 3 years old with her mom, processed it
Really?
out.
Really?
And it's
All
so
inside.
because that's the thing, our bodies are just stomping grounds of stored trauma and unprocessed emotions.
Yes.
It's it's true. And it's like you just gotta literally get it out, clean it out, clean it out.
Clean it out. It's like cleaning out the closet. It's like the old clothes, the old everything, which is so
Yeah,
beautiful because, you get back into present time, and that's really where there's so much available, and your
it,
full, highest, best self is already been there, but it's cluttered with all the past and drama, and not
oh my,
drama, but
you're,
trauma and
yeah,
pain and things that aren't even true anymore. A lot of times you associate something from the past that's not really true. So, or you're so busy pushing that you can't even see what the truth is. And I think this is such a beautiful, like it feels like it's a method that brings you home, that it's soft and it's beautiful and it's nurturing. There's nothing better than when you come home. And you know what that is. There's a moment. And if you haven't experienced it yet, definitely reach out to Debbie, because the home's inside. It's always been there. And when you
always
actually
been.
come back to it, and it's almost like I've always said, it's like a tuning fork. If you're into music or anything like that, it's all of
Hmm.
a sudden you're in this vibration it's just your vibration. And so,
Yes,
I feel at home. I feel safe. I feel secure. I can really shine and show my gifts. And so this is such a beautiful gift that you're giving women. And I love that you're focusing on midlife, because it's a very confusing time for women. And I'm with you 100% to support women during this time, that it's just the beginning. Now it's time to really step in and remember who you are, be who
Mhm.
you're supposed to be, and share your gifts with the world. So I'm so happy we get to share this with everyone. And everyone, please reach out to Debbie. There's hope, there's joy, there's love, there's so much available. So if you were to give our audience one last, I guess, message of maybe even talk to the person that you can help the most, what's
Oh,
that person?
almost makes you want to tear up because like um it's the woman who is so tired of carrying it all.
Yeah,
Oh, look at I'm tearing up. It's like the one who's just so sick of being the one to do it all.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
get that weight off those shoulders,
Get it. Oh, let's get it out.
off, off the body.
Get
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. You
Get
don't
it
have to
out.
carry the weight of the world anymore.
Yes.
And Debbie can help you find a
Yes.
way to get there and take that off so that you can really shine and you're meant to shine. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing this with us today and who you are in your own journey through this and your own happiness and transformation that came from
Yeah.
this process. I think we always teach what we want all, so you teach what you want to learn too sometimes. And
Yeah.
that's the greatest gift when it's helped you in your own life and then you can share it with others.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Evie.
Yes. Thank you for your
And we'll
time.
share, you're welcome. We'll share how they can get a hold of you, what is the best way, but we'll also be sharing that.
Probably the easiest way, if you're on Instagram, I'm at w.digital. That's where you can probably have the most of my content. And yeah, w.digital on Instagram, and that has all the links, everything that you need, and all my
Okay.
content.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much for it
Okay.
lightening my day today. And I
Oh,
really
thank you for
enjoyed it.
having me.